So hello, folks. It's Tuesday, February 14th, 2023, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone that's celebrating. So today I'm going to talk about the U.S. train disasters that have gone on in the last week and also this unidentified flying objects fiasco that's going on. So let's dive into it. So to begin, there's been three unidentified flying objects spotted and shot down over Alaska, Yukon, which is in Canada here, and Lake Huron, which is over the Great Lakes area. I know there's been a lot of conspiracies out there on, whether this has been aliens, and a lot of people believe it's aliens out there, but I don't buy that at all, and I'm not going to dive down that rabbit hole. And I think that is just really a big goose chase to distract people. And I think they for sure know what these objects are, but they're just not saying what it is because they don't want to create panic in the stock market, and so people don't possibly panic buy as well. I mean, yeah, they for sure know what it is. You don't think they would want to find out what it is before they shot it down? Like, come on, just use the old brain here. But I believe what this is more is it's a form of hybrid warfare, and these objects are most likely Russian or Chinese, as the reality is we're edging closer to a hot war with both. And, we're pretty much already in a hot war with Russia for the most part as NATO keeps getting more and more involved in this conflict. And the Russians have acknowledged that, that they're at war with NATO basically already as well. And I think whether this is the Chinese or the Russians, they're testing the waters to see how far they can penetrate North American airspace and to test NORAD's ability. And the military here is most likely preparing behind the scenes right now for more as well. And this was news just recently as NORAD gives notice of air defense exercise around Washington, D.C. set for Tuesday, which is today. And they're saying that it's routine, but come on. That does not happen every day where there's some major air defense exercise going on that close to the U.S. Capitol. So there's definitely more going on to the story here, folks. And things just keep escalating more and more and more as well. So, yep, that's just my opinion on it, that it's of some foreign entity. And yes, it is a threat indeed to national security for both the Canada and the United States. But moving on, these train explosions are pretty crazy. So the big one was in Ohio. A train explosion carrying deadly vinyl chloride in East Palestine, Ohio, has said to have contaminated the Ohio River as far as West Virginia. Residents are reporting seeing dead fish and animals around the area, and I know the air quality is very bad as well. Residents have had to be evacuated from the area. And a lot of other people I've seen in alternative media and such say that this is more localized when it's really not, because the Ohio River connects to the Mississippi River and other rivers as well across the United States. And this will contaminate the water supply in the U.S. even more, affecting millions and millions of more people and their drinking water. And, that water is used for showers and baths as well. So it's definitely a big concern, and it's definitely more than just being localized. My question is, could this have just been an accident? Possibly. Could this be an inside job, which I think is unlikely? Or is this an act of sabotage by a foreign entity such as Russia or China? And the question that I have is there a connection between the spy balloons or these UFOs and this? Because, it's just interesting how these things were flying in our airspace and everything, and who knows what kind of technology they had on there. They could have caused some kind of cyber attack or have some kind of technology that could have caused, this train derailment to happen. It's just because these balloons were flying around that a big ecological disaster like this happens. And the mainstream media is really trying to keep this under wraps, but this is really the biggest ecological disaster ever in U.S. history, or one of the biggest ever. It's a total big deal, and it's a total tragedy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens more with this. But yeah, they're definitely keeping it under wraps because, yet again, they don't want people to panic and all that stuff. So another train crash that happened was in Texas, happened in Montgomery County, Texas. A crash with an 18-wheeler caused the train to derail. So this was indeed an accident, this one. The train was carrying, yet again, hazardous materials, but apparently there were no leaks from any of the cars, and that was according to the Western Standard, which I read online. So at least that doesn't appear to be as bad of a situation. And then this one in South Carolina happened as well. It happened in Norrie, South Carolina. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And there's not much else to say about it. It seems to be non-hazardous, and not much other information has been released. So, yeah, but it's just pretty crazy. Just like we're in this huge crisis period where it's just one thing after another, whether it's climate, war, contagion, the economy, ecological disasters happening. It's just really one thing after another, and all these random things just keep happening. Like, wow. We're really in the fourth turning, if anybody's read that book out there. And I think Neil Howe talked about this in his book, that during a crisis period, a lot of random things tend to happen. And the guy was absolutely right. I mean, Neil Howe, if you're ever listening out there, you and William Strauss were definitely prophets for sure. But yeah, that's just my thoughts overall on this. And kind of going back to the Ohio thing here for one quick moment is, that air is going to probably travel to other places, around the world and even other parts of the United States, and might even cause like acid rain and affect things as well. So it's definitely not good for the air quality all around for the country. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on really what's going on. So you got a huge ecological disaster, one of the biggest, if not the biggest in U.S. history. And, to sum it up here as well, I think that these UFOs are not aliens by any means. And, this has to do with hybrid warfare and with war brewing up all over the world. And as I said before, we're definitely on the edge of World War III, folks. So get prepared because, as I've said before, something big is coming in one way or another. Peace out.